today's chapter, we are going to learn. We are in the Harappan Valley Civil or Indus Valley Civilization chapter. So, in this, we are going to learn about the origin of civilization, how this civilization has started, who are the people responsible for it, what are the theories that are in related to this origins. That we will discuss in this slide. So, several theories were in, limelight for the explanation of Harappan civilization. So generally two theories are under consideration. One is foreign origin theory and the other is indigenous origin theory. So these two theories are very authenticated theories that were explaining the origin of Harappan civilization. So let us see what is this foreign origin theory. Some scholars believe that the civilization came into existence as a result of sudden migration of people with an urban civilization to Indus Basin. According to these scholars, the Harappan civilization was an offshoot of Mesopotamian. See, some scholars believed that some group of people, okay, they have suddenly migrated to Indus Basin, and these people are already urbanized. They know town way of living. They were not town dwellers. They know like how people live in towns and all. No? They were that kind of people. And they suddenly migrated to Indus Basin and they were responsible for Indus Valley civilization. And these people, they came from very different area and they know how to, they were urbanized and they suddenly migrated to Indus Basin. Now, the same scholars believed that these people are Mesopotamians. The sudden migrants to Indus Basin are Mesopotamians. But how can you say that the sudden migrants are Mesopotamians? See, this might be the route through which they might have come and settled here. But how can you know that the Mesopotamians have come and settled here? There must be some evidence. But the scholars could not establish any evidence. There is no evidence, no, showing relation that the Mesopotamians are nothing but Indus people, because the excavations carried out in Indus Valley region revealed some material objects, and the objects which were found in Mesopotamian region, when they both were compared, there is no similarities between those objects. Hence, this was rejected. Okay, because these people cannot be Mesopotamian, because the objects used by these people in Indus region and the objects used by Mesopotamians are not having any match. Hence, now this argument is cancelled. What is that argument? Indus people are Mesopotamians. This argument is rejected now. Some scholars also believed that the Mesopotamians had contacts with early phase of Indus people. See, Indus Valley civilization is having two phases. There are many phases, but I'll say only this early phase and mature phase. See, this early phase is with the village lifestyle and mature phase with urban lifestyle. So what scholars believe that the trade with Mesopotamia played an important role in the transformation of Harappan civilization from early stage to mature phase. I said that Indus Valley people is having early stage and mature phase. So in this early phase, village lifestyle was there. When the Mesopotamians came into contact with this village lifestyle of Indus people, they might have transformed slowly into urban people and they were responsible for mature phase. Somehow these scholars wanted to say that Mesopotamians transformed the early Indus man to mature Indus people. But this was also rejected because there was no evidence available that Mesopotamians had contacts with early Harappans. early Harappans, they didn't had any trade relations with Mesopotamians. By this we can say that Indus Valley people has no origins from Mesopotamia. Only the mature phase had some trade relations with the Mesopotamians. Early phase was not having any trade relations with Mesopotamians. By this we can conclude that Mesopotamian people are not the Indus Valley people. So the other theory that is in functional was or is indigenous origin. So what is this indigenous theory? So the researchers of recent times show that the roots of Harappan civilization were deep in the Indian soil. That means this civilization does not came from anywhere else. They developed on the banks of Indus River only. They were not migrants of any place. And according to some historians, the urban Harappan culture was only an outgrowth of extensive local village cultures, not of foreign origin. See, as I said that Indus Valley civilization has two phases, early phase and mature phase. The early phase is having village people and village kind of living. Mature phase has urban life. So, the scholars of indigenous origin believed that initially people were here with village lifestyle and slowly they progressed into matured phase where they learned the way of living urban lifestyle. So this is not the work of outsiders. There were initially people here with village lifestyle. Slowly they have transformed into urbanized way of living that resulted in mature phase of Harappan civilization, and they are not of any foreign origin. They are originally the people of this area. So these cultures probably contributed to the growth of Harappan civilization together with external stimulus provided by trade contacts with Mesopotamia. That means, see, here you can see like village kind of living. So these people as early Harappans, when they were how they slowly transformed. Maybe they might have had contacts with not the early phase but the transformation phase I'm talking. So in the transformation process, the trade is might also be a factor, not completely, but the trade with Mesopotamians might also be a triggering factor for them to advance towards urban lifestyle. These historians found some marked similarities between pre-Harappan and proto-Harappan cultures at Kot Dizhi. So how can you say that you know the mature phase and early phase is there? They have took a place called Kot Dizhi. So Kot Dizhi is a place where there were some evidences of Indus Valley civilization. At this place of Kot Dizhi, there were two kinds of evidences available. See, those evidences are are building some relationship between early and mature Harappan phase. So the evidences found at a place called Kot Dizhi. Okay, what are the evidences revealing? The excavations at this place revealed some objects, and when archaeologists took these objects, they found some relation between early phase and mature phase. These objects were made with knowledge from early phase and mature phase. Now what we can understood that early phase has slowly transformed into mature phase. It is not somebody from outside. So maybe for example I'll say you like this. See, this was a pot made by early people. This is for your understanding I'm saying. Now this pot was made in early phase. This was the way how they made in early phase. The same pot, the style of making pot was same, but they made some shining on it, some designs on it. Now what does this suggest? Same kind of pottery is made, but with some designs. That shows that the people were following similar kind of learning which they know in early phase, they have improvised the part making by designs and shining and all such things. Now, early phase and mature phase, they both have link, isn't it? That shows that not Koddizi, Amri and Kalibangan in terms of granary, defensive walls, long distance trade, in all these areas, like granaries. The granaries found in early phase and mature phase for having some link. There are some comparatively there is some similarities. Defensive walls, okay, the walls that they built to protect themselves from floods. The way they built is showing some similarity between early phase and mature phase, and also the long distance trade. So even the settlements here had some trades with Mesopotamia. This shows that people have slowly evolved from early phase to mature phase. These people have origins here only in India, and they slowly moved into a mature phase. So this theory was acceptable to everyone. Let us understand the extent of the civilization. I mean, what is the expansion of this civilization? So the entire area of Harappan civilization is triangular in shape and accounts for about 1.3 million square kilometers. So generally, they represented this as a triangular way. So in a triangular pattern, this the extent of civilization has been observed, and it is having a vast area. So like from this side to this side, almost it is having a vast area of 1.3 million square kilometers. Such a big extent among the all ancient civilizations. If you observe Mesopotamian, Egyptian and all, comparatively this civilization extended in a very big way. And if you look at the extent of the civilization, it is extended from Satkajandar on the sea coast of South Balochistan in the west. So if you look at this place, this is Satkajandar. It is the southwest extreme place that belongs to Indus Valley Civilization. In the southwest, or you can take it as west, from Satkajandar in the west to Alamgirpur in the Ganga Yamuna Doab in western Uttar Pradesh in east. So I'm talking about the places which are located to the extremes of west and east for the extent of civilization. So for this entire civilization, to the most, I mean, to the extreme west, we have Satkajandar and we have Alamgirpur in the east. Okay, from Satkajandar in the west to Alamgirpur in the east, this civilization is extended. So the extension from west to east is with Satkajandar and Alamgirpur, and from Manda in Jammu in the north to Bhagatrao in Narmada estuary in the south. So this is Manda to the north and south extent now. So we have just studied the west and east extent of the civilization. Now the north and south extent of the civilization. So if you look at this north, so Manda, a place, is present in a Jammu place, in a place called Jammu, and this is the northernmost site of Indus Valley civilization. And if you look at the southernmost site of Indus Valley civilization, it is Bhagatrao. So this is located in the Narmada River valley. So the Harappan culture covered. So now let us see what states it covered. We have seen west to east, north to south. Now let us see what states it covered. It covered the states of Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and the western Uttar Pradesh, parts of western Uttar Pradesh. So like see Punjab here, and now Rajasthan here, Gujarat, and now you can see Uttar Pradesh here, many such things. So many states were involved, and Consequent to the partition of India, the main centers of civilization, that is Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chanhu-daro, and Satkajandar, are now in Pakistan. See, when India was undivided, all were in India. After its partition, the main centers like Harappa, okay, Mohenjo-daro, Chanhu-daro, and even, you know, Satkajandar. This is Satkajandar. All these parts, they went away to Pakistan. And in India, there were some centers like Manda, so which we have seen here in Jammu, and Banawali. So here it is in, the Punjab and Haryana regions. Banawali, Kalibangan, Alamgirpur, Lothal, Rupar, and Rangpur. See, you take Ropar, Banwali, Alamgirpur, okay, and you take Rangpur here. They all got located in India. So some parts went away to Pakistan and some parts remained in India only. So Dholavira in Gujarat is the most prominent among them. So among all the sites that India has got, Dholavira is a very important site in Gujarat. So the largest sites of Harappan civilization, however, are Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Kalibangal, and Lothal. So there are some important as well as there are some largest sites like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Kalibangan. You can see them here. So this is about the extent of the Harappan civilization. So now let us understand what are the important cities of this Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization. So the urban planning and Harappan cities. So we told that this civilization is an urban civilization. That means a town kind of thing, city kind of structures have been found. So why this is called city kind of thing, and what are the important cities that we will see now. The two most important Harappan cities are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So if you look at here, Harappa is one important city and the other is Mohenjo-daro. These two are the very important cities in Indus Valley civilization. Harappa is present in Montgomery district of Punjab. So this is the Punjab in Pakistan, and to the west side of it, this is West Punjab and we have East Punjab here. So in the west side or the West Punjab, there is a district called Montgomery. So in that district, Harappa is located, and Mohenjo-daro is located in Sindh district and Larkana district. Sorry, Mohenjo-daro is located in Larkana district. Harappa is located in Montgomery district of Punjab. So this is in Punjab state and this is in Sindh state. So like we have states in India, they also have states in Pakistan. So Harappa is located in Punjab. So Harappa is located in West Punjab of state of Pakistan, and Mohenjo-daro is located in Sindh state and Larkana district. Here the district is Montgomery, and these two cities are connected by Indus River. So if you look at the map here, those two are linked by the river Indus. Hence, the civilization is also Indus Valley civilization. So as these two sites which were discovered in the beginning days itself, they were linked by a common river called Indus. Hence this civilization is called Indus Valley civilization. A third city lies at Chanhu-daro. So this is the third city, Chanhu-daro. So to the south of Mohenjo-daro, right? So this is Mohenjo-daro, and to the south of Mohenjo-daro, we have Chanhu-daro, another city. The fourth city is Lothal in Gujarat, at the head of Gulf of Cambay. So if you look at, this is Gujarat, and here, what is the name of the city that was found? It is Lothal. So this is the Lothal city, and this city is located at the top of the or head of the Gulf of Cambay. This is Gulf of Cambay. I told you what is Gulf of Cambay. a small channel that where water will be a small channel or canal kind of thing that leads to a Arabian Sea or ocean. So here this Gulf of Cambay and Lothal is present here. And now hence it is called not head of the Gulf of Cambay. Lothal, another important city, developed. And in northern Rajasthan, there is a city called Kalibangan. So if you take Rajasthan here, this is the area of Rajasthan, and you say the northern part we have Kalibangan, another important city, and the sixth one is called Banawali. It is situated in Hisar district in Haryana. So you take this Banwali. So this is located in Haryana. Kalibangan is located in Rajasthan. Banwali is another district located in Haryana. So the Harappan culture has been found in its nature and flourishing stage not only in these cities but also in other cities. So we just explained Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chandhudaru, Lothal, Kalibangan, Banawali, not only these cities. There are some other places where the civilization has extended. Such important cities are called like Satkajandar. Where is this Satkajandar? See here. This is a place where Satkajandar is located. And then we have Satkatoda. I know like all these are also other cities, each of which has a citadel. So we said about citadel, right? Lower city will be there and there will be an upper city. And this elevated upper city is called citadel. So this is lower town and this is upper town. The upper city is called or upper town is called citadel. So at Satkajandar and Sarkatoda, they also have citadel, which means these people are also having an urban lifestyle. The late and Harappan phase has also been discovered in Rangpur in Kathiawar in Gujarat. So I said that there is early Harappan and late or mature Harappan we call. So here the late Harappan phase was also observed in Gujarat in a place called Rangpur. So this is Rangpur. So in this place there was also the evidences available for the late Harappan phase. So this is about the Harappan cities which were present in the civilization. We just now discussed that they had an urban lifestyle. How do you know that they have urban lifestyle? So by the way of their planning, how they planned the towns. So if you look at the most striking feature of Harappan civilization is its urban planning. So the Harappans are the very beginners, or they are the pioneers of planning their cities and towns. When you compare with other civilization, Harappans are most advanced people and they have planned their cities and constructed. If you look at the Indus, so the Indus cities generally differed from the Sumerian cities in Mesopotamian civilization, which is in modern Iraq. So that I'll show you here. See, this is a city plan that belongs to Mesopotamian civilization. So this is a city planning in Mesopotamia. So at the center there will be a ziggurat around which all the city will be developing. And if you look at this is Harappan civilization. See here, there is a grid pattern. This is circular pattern of planning, and this is grid pattern. What pattern? Grid. So see, if you look at this is a street. I know houses are located opposite to this. They left road and all. Here, no such things. They just constructed, in a circular manner. So the Sumerian cities developed around the temple. So Ziggurat is the temple, and the city developed around it and followed a circular pattern. So this is the circular pattern. And Indus cities followed a grid pattern. So grid means, so they followed like this. So this is grid. Okay. So like, this is all kind of road, houses are planned exactly leaving the road. That's how it's called grid. So this is grid pattern. This is indicated by the regularity of the divisions. See here, if you look at the overview of the map, there is some regularity going. So there is this kind of arrangement, right? Which shows that they have planned their cities regularly, not however they like. like alignment of streets. See here, they have left place for the street in between, and the planning of the houses, public buildings with the provision for thoroughfares. So they have made houses. See here, houses were properly arranged. They even the public buildings like Mohenjo-daro and all. See here, the Mohenjo-daro, they didn't construct it wherever they liked. So they used a proper place and proper manner. If you observe, if you look here, this is something circularly they are building. Suppose from this street to other street, there might not be any proper planning. Whereas here, from one street to other street, there is proper planning, and some buildings are constructed in a separate way. Houses are separated in a different manner. So this shows that the Harappans are more planned in their town planning. So we just now said that Harappans followed a urban town planning, and they are the pioneers in planning their towns. So let us see how they planned their town in detail. There are some main characteristics of their town planning. So each city was divided into two parts. So Harappans have divided their city into two parts. So if you look at the picture here, this is one part of the city and this is the other part of city. So this is one city and this is the other part of city. Once the raised area is called the citadel and the other town is called lower town. So here there are two parts of city. This is called raised area or citadel, and the lower one is called lower town. So this is called the citadel and this is called lower town. The citadel owed its height to the buildings which were constructed on mud brick platforms. So they made mud bricks, they baked them, and on these platforms what they did, they raised the height of the city, and on this they constructed houses. So the citadel was separated from the lower town by a wall. So if you look at this picture, this is a big wall being constructed which was there. So the other part of the city lies the other side. So if you look at it, is raised compared to lower town. So important buildings like Great Bath, granaries, the storehouses of food grains, the assembly hall where people go and meet, workshop where people work and make some objects, they were all located in the citadel area. So in the upper town, those things were located. The lower town had the residential buildings. So common people and other normal houses were present. See here, no mud brick platforms. Here there is no bricks and all on which houses are constructed. Only on citadel areas such kind of things you see. The lower town is having residential buildings. See, these are the houses, and here people lived and worked. The streets followed a grid pattern running from north to south and from east to west. So if you look at here, so here, if you look at the streets, okay, so west to east and north to south. They followed a grid pattern. The streets will run again further like this, and also from north to south and east to west. The houses at street corners were rounded to allow cars to pass easily. So this I'll show you in the next slide, how the cars used to pass and all. The streets were having corners. So from one street to next street when they go, they have rounded corner. Suppose if this is the street and now here now they don't make it exactly like this. And this is another street, for example. The cart, now bullock cart, now it has to turn like this, right? As the streets were narrow, what happened? No, they made it round, okay, so that the cart can go easily. Whereas here, if they make like this, already they are narrow, it may feel difficulty to turn. So the streets were made circular, and at the corners it is very rounded so that the carts can easily pass. House drains emptied all wastewater into a street drain. Suppose if this is a house, so see the house here, and from the house there will be underground drainage, and it will join the main street drainage. So this will be the street drainage, and the water from the house drain will flow into street drain. The streets cross at the main road at right angles, dividing the city into square or rectangular blocks. Suppose if these are the roads, okay, the streets will, okay, this is a main road. The streets will cross the road, main road at right angles. Okay, this is a right angle. The street crossing the main road at right angle. The road will be like this only, main road. In between streets will be like this. So the streets are streets are cutting the main road at right angles, dividing the city into square or rectangular blocks. So if you look at now, finally city may look like this. This is a main road. Now somehow it looks like a rectangular or square blocks. So these are the characteristics of the town planning of Harappan. So these pictures I have collected to make you understand how the original things were there. See, if you look at this picture, this is not exactly, this is nowhere related to our civilization, but to make you understand, I'm just showing this. Citadel is like this, somehow very raised, and this is all lower town. Okay, you can see here Citadel and lower town. The town has developed under this, and this is the town, Citadel area. Exactly like this, Harappan civilization also developed. And you can see the street drains passing through the houses from house, the street drains will enter and the house drain will connect to the street drain and the water used to flow there. So these are the excavatory things which remained there. And this is how, their planning looks. See the narrow streets, drains. This is all raised area again. This is all lower town. So you can see how this was an artistic expression. So same thing, the rectangular or grid pattern of the city of Harappa. We can see Mohenjo-daro here. So houses, streets, the main road. So all such things. See Mohenjo-daro city's overview. This is the upper town with raised area and citadel. This is the lower town. So these are pictures. Now you may understand now clearly how they planned their towns and cities.